pound sound. Pound down, y'all. Motherfuckers out here. Look. Praise the Lord. Pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord. Morning, creeps. I forgot what thumbnail I put on this shit. Hold up. I didn't change the thumbnail. Let's change it to something else. There we go. 2016 Dodge Durango. Grampy with a 3800 Series 2? What we listen to cars all for? What's up, everybody? Why am I straight? I don't know. I'm bored. And like I was like, do I want to go back to sleep or do I want to like stream or do something? I don't know. Like I've been sleeping a lot since I finished Diablo 2 because like I ain't got nothing to do outside of that. Well, I got shit I could do, but like not motivated to do it, and I don't know why. I don't know, whatever car we want to look at. What cars you guys want to look at? That's the ammunition. Praise the Lord. Crow Media, motivate me, man. Hit me up with that. Let me make a Discord link here. If you want to, you can join my Discord by clicking the Discord link. If you're a member, there's a members only section. Sadly, I have been using it a lot lately. So maybe if more people join, we'll use it more. What is the Eco Style engine? I bought a 2002 Chevrolet Cavalier. And I want to make sure I take good care of it. The guy who used to own it took great care of it, works on the engine in the Navy. Well, it's a 23-year-old car, almost 24-year-old car, Steven. Does that get the 2.2 in it? Let's see, 2002 Cavalier. It has the 2.2 and the 2.4. Generally, you're going to have the 2.2 in that car. But if he took good care of it, it might be the 2.4. Regardless, fucking thing's bulletproof, man. Like, if it's got the 2.2 in it, change the oil every 3,000 miles with, 5W30. Change your transmission fluid every 50,000 miles. Change your brake fluid every 30,000 miles or every 3 years. And just keep driving it. At this point, you're going to run into seals leaking oil more so than the thing breaking down. So, like, if you already have oil leaks, just make sure you check the oil like every 3 gas fill-ups or something like that. Will Loca ever be a podcast again? I don't know. Probably not, but, like, I don't know what the future holds. Thank you for the $2. Crow Media, every day I think maybe it's too late. I know it's not too late, but, like, in my head, like, I feel like death. And I'm like, is it too late? Oh, you're 20. Hold the fuck up. Let me do the quick maths. How the fuck you got 60,000 shit on a 22 Malibu? You got the 1.5 or you got the 2 liter? If you got the 1.5, the only preventative maintenance you're going to have to do is be putting some money away because the turbos on those things generally crap out about 140, 150,000 miles. Other than that, just change your oil every 5,000 miles on that particular car. You have the 8-speed, so you should be already changed the transmission fluid at 45K. They tend to have torque converter issues in there. And if you're going to do the transmission fluid change, you need to do it at a dealer because there's a very particular transmission fluid that needs to go into that 8-speed automatic. And if you ever had, I don't know if they fixed the third brake light problem yet on the Malibus, but that's the third brake light problems that kind of pushed me away from the Malibu. What does it mean when my 2005 5.3 says it's running or 0 at idle, but when I plug in at OBS, it says TDS at normal? Well, if your RPMs at idle should be around 500, but if they're less than 500, that could be either a sensor issue or a idle control valve issue. Does it bop up and down at all, or is it just steady 200 or 0? If it's steady 200 or 0, it's most likely you got a bad sensor. This ain't ask. Let's look at shit. Start with one of my favorites. What's up, Princess?
Welcome back, guys. Or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive and that's the 2025 Chevy Silverado. But more specific,
this truck right here is absolutely beautiful.
This is a custom trail boss, so it's actually a pretty low trim level despite.
This is like me watching porn.
This is maybe one of the best Silverados that you can buy in the most popular cab to bed configuration. It's in a color called Red Hot, and today I get to review it for you guys to help you decide if this might be worth your time and money. So you can expect to see a walk around. All the specs, initial.
Look at that motherfucking price, dog. Look at that shit. $55,000. You can't. Yeah, you guys can see my cursor here, right? Look at this. TurboMax blackout package, $2,500. I remember when the TurboMax first came out, they would give you $1,000 to buy that engine. Like they would literally just, if it had the TurboMax, it was negative $1,000 on the truck, right? They just wanted to get the engine out there. Now they went full reverse on this shit and they're charging $2,500. And the problem is, right, is they've went backwards with it, right? They are now like adding it together, blackout package, plus nameplates, tagging, lettering, high gloss painted wheels. So I guess they try to like upcharge it, but they want to stack it in with like a blackout package. Like they just can't let it like, oh, here's the blackout package, here's the TurboMax. They don't want you to know that you're getting upcharged for the base engine. $18 miles per gallon. That's what trucks get, man. Like my very first truck got like 13. So you got spray on bed liner. That's not bad for $545. The problem with the Chevy Tech spray on bed liner, it's not so much spray on as is an insert that looks like spray on bed liner. Black molded splash guards. That should not charge money for. I mean, they're good to have on the truck, but most people tear those bitches off, and you're paying $250 for them. Floor liners. I like floor liners. I always want that. How gracious did they include the tires? Oh, here it is. Here, I'm sorry, I didn't see all the way through. Custom Trail Boss blackout package and TurboMax engine credit. So they do give you the credit for having the base engine because they used to. Now it's $1,800. So there's the thing.
0 to 60 on GPS, and then my final thoughts. And huge thanks to the Twin Falls Chevy for letting me borrow this one for the day. They sell below MSRP. They ship all over the country.
Conrad said, "What do you haul in a truck? Mainly trash." Mainly trash. I do have a couple trailers that I pull from time to time, but mainly trash. I do use the truck to do things for the church every now and then. Generally, when you own a home, you're always going to need a truck for something, right? Like when I have home projects, I have to go get wood and stuff like that. And there's always, my wife always wants an elliptical or a bike or or like a kayak, or there's always something that I got to go get. And you need a truck for that kind of stuff.
And with that said, let's dive right into this review. And if you guys like Chevy, the Trail Boss Silverado, or my video, please consider liking my video. That small act of kindness really goes a long way. It helps me know you want to watch more stuff like this, and it helps you by having YouTube choose to show you more stuff like this. Thank you guys. But before we get too far into this video,
dude, look at that truck. That truck is so gorgeous. Like, I have a Trail Boss too. And like, I know this little black fake like hump in the hood right here is it makes it so that you can't see shit on the trails, but it makes it look so nice. The problem I have with like the custom trim, let's go in the interior, is like
headlights and a huge bottle holder, unnamed speaker. The speakers are
like the problem I have with the custom interiors. They don't let you like customize it to the point of like, hey, let me have like the big infotainment screen in the middle, the 4.2 information screen. Like if you could like customize it so you have like the controls on both sides of the steering wheel and like the volume and like search controls, I like the custom look better than I like the LT look.
For an upgraded sound system at this, and then you have a full-length running board, which I really appreciate. Otherwise, you have all-weather mats.
Like, I don't mind the cloth seats. I don't mind the like the fold-down bench or anything like that. But like, I absolutely detest like half the steering wheel has like poverty buttons on it. You guys got cars with poverty buttons?
These are only four-wheel drive auto. It's not true. They still have.
You cammed your Silverado. Why?
And this is the power cloth seat. It's actually pretty comfortable. It's not heated though, and then you can see that it has the bunch seat and no power moonroof up top in that pre-existing cutout area where it would go.
Let's click back over here. Like, you said you cammed your Silverado. Why did you cam your Silverado? I've been looking at Chevy Colorados for $30K. Is that a good buy? Depends on what motor you have. The 3.6 is pretty bulletproof at this point, as long as you change your oil. The 2.7 is really good, but the problem is they kind of like bullshit with the 2.7 with like what tune that you're going to get with it. The diesel, the baby Duramax that they put in there, I think like the 2.5 Duramax, whatever it might be. I've seen it having issues, but I've only ever seen one have issues. So like I'm not too familiar with the Duramax that comes in the Colorados. There's no reason for F350 to be 70, 80K. Glitch, I got bad news for you. F350 is not 70 or 80K unless you're getting like the single cab base model. Because like, I can guarantee right now, I could probably go find like an F150, F350 that's base work truck with the single cab, and I bet you money it's $65,000 plus. If you get like a crew cab, 4-wheel drive, like XLT, you're at $90,000. If you get a Lariat up or like a Platinum, you're easily clearing $100,000. Would I fly to DSP's hour in Seattle for $25K for an interview? Yes. What used car would I buy if I had $10K cash? The one people willing to sell to me. Like, honestly, like I'm a huge believer in like the 6th generation Impalas. Like they go for fucking ever. They got some issues with them, right? Like the solenoids tend to go out at 150,000 miles. You always tend to have like a transmission leak, not transmission leak, an oil pan leak around that same time. Almost every Impala I've ever gotten into has had like one of the AC motors go out where it goes tuck 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 tuck. It's a very, very common problem with those. They eat CV axles, but man, do they go for fucking ever. I own one. I own a 2009 Chevy Impala. Like, I'm right now loaning it out to my wife's sister because she's having car issues, right? So like, here's a car, drive it and bring it back with gas, right? It's just fucking dependable. Like My sister has like 300,000 miles on one, and she very easily doesn't take care of her car. She doesn't change the oil right. She never changes any fluid, that kind of thing. Sent me a video on X of your truck. Let's see here. No, I've never played the Hollow Knight games. Praise the Lord. Let's see. All right. All right. So, like his Silverado, he said he had an '05 Silverado. It's not looking like an '05 Silverado. It's got a mean sound to it though. This is looking like a 2019. Yeah, 100% of 2019. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and say a prayer for the 6-speed transmission and Joe's Silverado. That thing is fucked. It's absolutely that's not boosted. That's that might be removed cats, true duals with it's not open headers. It'd be way louder than that, but like it's got a little bit of a cam. It's not got a much cam, but maybe a Texas speed cam on it. Like it ain't much more than stock, but it's got a little lobe to it. No, well, you're not going to cam delete your car, Shroom Pilot. Like if you can't cam delete your car, you're putting it in the junkyard. The camshaft controls how your valve. Your camshaft is controlled by your timing chain, which controls how far your valves and stuff open to let air in and out of the engine. You can't run without a camshaft. Like generally, people upgrade their cam, but they put bigger lobes on them, so like they opens up and lets more air in and lets more air out. Thus, you have to do a custom tune to time it to the new cam lobe. And once you custom tune a truck, like it makes it very hard to work on in the future. But you're going to be using more gas mileage, but you're going to get a lot more power out of it. You should only do an oil change every 30,000 miles at least, right? Oh, yeah. You do that, your oil might be jello. You're about to 5.3 swap to 78 Nova. Which generation? You doing an LS or an LT 5.3? What's your thoughts on the C6 Corvette 2007 LS2 engine? Couldn't point it out in a parking lot. Like I've never been a Corvette guy. Like the last two Corvettes I fucking really like. But I've never been able to drive them. I think they're cool as fuck, but like at the same time, it's like I've never been a Corvette guy. Also, on the 1999 Corbin Sparrow, you can Google it and check it out for me. Let's see what the 1999 Corbin Sparrow looks like. This might be a fucking porn thing he's sending me to. Oh no. I mean, it's close. Like this thing looks like something you throw in a WNBA court. Like look at this shit, boys. Look at this trash. What? Look, like here's a picture of like everyone they ever sold right here. Like the whole lineup's right there in that picture. For some reason you can't see my cursor here. I don't know why. But yeah. I don't know what to say about the Sparrow. Look at this maniac. I can tell you this, I couldn't drive one. I could not drive one. Thoughts on the high country trim level? God. Like, here's the thing about being a car guy. I'm kind of always torn on, right? Like, it sucks that if you go to the super high trims, they don't really hold their value well unless you're getting something very, very special, right? Like if you're getting like a Shelby GT500, that's going to hold its value well. If you get like a Shelby Raptor, that's going to hold its value well. But like going up and getting like the Ford Platinum, right? Like all those doodads and that you're going to pay extra for, that is in just a regular run of the mill everyday truck. That's like here's a white Ford Platinum, right? Is it going to hold its value a little bit better than like an XL F-150, right? Yeah, sure, right? But man, are you going to lose your fucking shirt? Like it's all a percentage game. And that's my thought with the high country. Like, man, like trucks already ride kind of rough. Why would you want 22-inch wheels? Why would you want like all-wheel drive full time? Like, why would you want X? Why would you want this? Why would you want air shocks? I know the high country doesn't come with air shocks, but I was more on the Ram with that thought process. Like, why would you want like this kind of stuff on your truck? Because at the end of the day, a truck still needs to be a truck, right? And like, there's only so much you can do to a truck and make it like a BMW on wheels, or like I used to call him the white boy Beamer, before it stops being a truck and starts being an El Camino, right? If you got air ride suspension and all this other shit on your truck, you pretty much have an El Camino. You have a really, really nice El Camino. You should get my truck tuned to release its true power. That used to be show us the Raptor. Like you want to see like a Ford Raptor? Let's see. Ford Raptor. No one cares about cars? Well, this ain't the stream for you. I don't like the way this guy talks, but we can look at the Raptor. We can talk about it. Like this is a Raptor Type R, so like, oof. This thing right here is gonna hurt your fucking wallet. Probably hurt your feelings looking at the price tag on this truck. Like if I had unlimited fucking money, and when I say unlimited money, I mean like I've already got retirement out of the way. I've already worked on myself. And Jordy's like 120 pounds. He's in shape. He's got his sex drive back. And I have like, I want to give it away. Money to burn, right? This would be the truck I'd own. This one right here in this color. Like I'd get the high output. I wouldn't own the Type R. I'll take that back. I wouldn't own the Type R. I'd want the Raptor 37. Because at that point, I wouldn't give a fuck about gas mileage. And I just want to look cool. And the Raptor 37 looks the coolest. I said 240 pounds. Can I smile like a thumbnail? God, that looked like I was in pain. TRX is greater than the Raptor. Maybe in a straight line. I mean, like, honestly, like, if all you're going by is horsepower numbers, sure. But, like, off-road Ford Raptor is king. Like, it's not even close. Like, I'm a GM guy. I mainly drive GM. But if you want to take a truck off-road, like, straight off the dealership lot and do nothing to it, Ford Raptor is going to win that 10 out of 10 times. No chance that any other truck manufacturer has an opportunity. Do I drive a GMC Cyclone? I'm the size of a GMC Cyclone. I wonder if he's going to show the sticker. Look at the interior. Like, we've seen the exterior. Like, Fords do such good interior. Ford seats are so comfortable too. Like, but as a big dude, the intricacies of Ford seats outside of their trucks, like for example, in the Mustangs used to have like this bar on the door. And I don't know why my camera wants to do the orange shit today, but used to have this bar on the door that would hurt my fucking knee. Like, you see how like that door pocket is kind of like grooved out right there? I can see that hurting my fucking knee. Oh, about getting a truck tuned? Used to be, back when they had issues with like emissions and things like that, you'd have trucks coming out of the factory really detuned. But now you have the horsepower wars, and trucks are pretty much tuned to their max. Like, take the 2.3 EcoBoost, for example, in the Ranger. It's called the EcoBoom because, like, it is pushing the max horsepower it can do safely from the factory and put a warranty on it. So if you upgrade the turbo, the intercooler, and shit like that, you literally throw out a rod in the side of the block most of the time. If there's horsepower to be had on these trucks that is safe to do, manufacturers would do them just to get an advantage over the competition, so they can say, like, hey, we got 5 more horsepower than the Chevy, or we got 5 more horsepower than the Ford. Like, look at the Mustang, for example. They pulled 20 more horsepower at the Mustang, but you know how they did it? They put an air filter on each bank of cylinders. So each bank of cylinders in the Mustang has a fucking throttle body and an air filter now. That's just going to push the cost up for you. Like, let's look at Ford Mustang's engine compartment. Like right here. Like, you see here, you got an air filter going here into a throttle body, air filter going here into a throttle body, just to get 20 more horsepower out of the engine. Like, the 5-liter Coyote has like 4 camshafts, 2 throttle bodies, 2 air filters. Like, some of the bigger ones, like the Shelby GT500, is going to have a fucking 8-pound supercharger sitting on top of it. Like, it's going to have bracing. You got variable valve timing, direct injection, port injection. Like, there's just so much going on with these engines now. Like a tune, yeah. Could somebody go out there and like tune this car as it sits to go from 480 horsepower to like 521? Sure, that could happen, right? But at that point, you're probably risking the block. It's these things are as tuned as close to failure point as possible from the factory at this point. And somebody's gonna be like, no. There's a reason that the Shelby GT500 uses a 5.2 Voodoo engine and not the Coyote. The Coyote's pushing its limits, right? And like 480 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. I'm a firm believer that anything over 400 horsepower is a fucking waste. Just a waste of time, right? On anything, right? Like, let me point this out, because I made this exact argument on Reddit just the other day. And I'll go to my Reddit comment just so people can see it. Let's see. Here we go. Here's my Reddit comment. This post was removed, but somebody on the Silverado forum uploaded a Toyota 5.7 supercharged. I go, wrong Reddit, obviously, but man, those get terrible MPG stock. Why would you want it faster at the cost of less than 10 miles per gallon? Bell's Game says, I supercharged my V6 Tacoma and loved it. I don't know who buys a truck for gas mileage, but you're buying the wrong vehicle. I plan on throwing a blower on my Silverado someday. I don't give a fuck about the gas mileage on the 6.2 V8. But it sounds, but I like the way it sounded. It makes it when my foot hits the floor, so that makes it all better. So I respond. Notice that, I got upvotes. The people who pay for gas care. I understand miles per gallon, but horsepower has diminishing returns. He's going to make 550 to 600 horsepower to 40% mile per gallon loss and make it less reliable and more expensive to maintain. Let's not even start with diagnostics if something goes wrong in the future, since you have to have a custom tune. Why to go from 5.6 to 4.50 to 60? You gain a little over 1 second in the grand scheme of things. It counteracts why you bought a Toyota. People buy them because they're just work without hassle. When you take reliability away from Toyota, they just make ugly cars with terrible interiors. And that's my whole thought process with it in a nutshell. Like, if you have to compromise reliability to get this extra speed, you are just you're shooting yourself in the foot. Anything over 400 horsepower, which my truck makes 420, right? So it's just a little bit over 400 horsepower. Because as you get faster and faster and faster, you have to overcome wind resistance, right? And it gets even worse in a truck because they have the aerodynamics of a fucking brick. They're just a big ass brick that sits high on the road. You get a lot of air going underneath the truck. You got air not struggling to get through the wheel wells. You got big muddy tires, some meaty tires on it. There's so many counteracts on a truck when it comes to speed, right? Or making a truck fast. And you get these guys that go out here and they'll put these fuel wheels on it that weigh a fucking ton. You'll have these extra wide tires. They'll put a supercharger on their truck and they'll do all this other stupid shit. And the truck will get 9 miles to the gallon. 9 miles to the gallon. It'll break down every 25,000 miles. But it's badass though. That's whatever. You know what the difference between a 455 and 510 horsepower is? 0.2 seconds probably. And that's in a Camaro, Nolan. What most likely happened, Nolan, honestly, is when you did all that fucking tuning, the person that tuned your Camaro changed the 5-volt reference of the pedal so it had a steeper curve right off the rip, which is dangerous too. There's a reason that it's a linear experience in a stock car. People call that pedal fade, but that's so that you don't fucking touch the gas and run into somebody at the fucking McDonald's, right? You want it to start off slow and slowly ramp up the electricity that goes into the pedal that tells the electronic throttle body to open. You want that. That's a safety feature. When you take that away and you go like this, all you're doing is making your car drive like a fucking 1999 Ford Escort. That's the main thing you probably felt with your Camaro is, and you could have got that from a Banks power pedal commander if you really, really wanted it. Let's look at a Raptor 37. That's not white. Do you think truck companies are outpricing these people out? 100%. It's a mixture of a bunch of different effects. COVID-19 and dealers fucking everybody over, especially the manufacturers, made them increase the prices of almost all their vehicles $2,000 to $5,000. Then you add tariffs in, which is going to make another 15% increase on all vehicle prices. Then you add um, the extra cost of like union auto workers that is going to be coming back. The people naturally wanting to make a little bit more money to combat inflation. Like all of this is coming into the point of, yeah, new cars are going to be for people that make exuberant amount of money, and more people are going to be driving things that are very, very hard to keep up. And a lot of cars are going to start breaking down strictly on emissions. You're going to have people miss meals because of emission standards in cars in the next 15 years. I don't ever talk to trolls on Reddit, honestly. Like anytime a troll messages my like Reddit profile, I just block them and I go about my day. What if tariffs makes us more affluent America in 5 years overall? Uh, let's pretend that it happens, right? Let's pretend that the tariffs all of a sudden do work, right? It's not going to take pricing down, right? At all, right? What it's going to do is it's going to make a scared make items more scarce from other people, right? You're going to have like Toyota. Nissan's going to be the first one to fall, right? Nissan's going to be the first company to fall, and Hyundai and Kia are going to be right behind them. They're going to get sold to China, and if they come back into America at all, they're going to be come back as a Chinese brand, and that's going to like supersede Trump's desire to keep China out of the American car market, because Trump doesn't want to have the same thing that happened with like Toyota, Honda, and like all these other companies that happened in the 80s. They don't want like another country to come in and just take over the auto market. Here comes the Reddit questions. Helper Bert, without trolls, you wouldn't exist. I existed 10 years without trolls, bud. I paid my house off without trolls. I'm losing viewers because I put up a Diablo 2 thumbnail. It'll be all right. Like, I'll probably end up cutting the stream off in 20 minutes anyway. We've only made $2. No, I have no desire to ever own a manual car again. I owned a manual when I was a young man. It was all right, but like at this point in my life, I don't want a manual. Automatics are nice. They're smoother. They less effort. You can do more while doing it. Hell, I like the fact that cars drive themselves nowadays. What's my thoughts on the new Slate truck? It's going to fail. That's my thoughts on the new Slate truck. It's going to fail. 100%. The reason the Slate truck's going to fail is Toyota's about to come out with a mini truck. Ford already has the Maverick out, and those two trucks alone are going to be at price point between $28,000 and $32,000 entry level. And by the time that you get the Slate option with anything you might want, AC, automatic windows, some type of stereo system, you're going to be in the ballpark of $30,000. And a $30,000 Maverick gives you a lot more than a fucking Slate electric vehicle does. And it's a lot. You just get more. You can get 45 miles per gallon. You can fill up at any gas station you want. It comes standard with radio, AC, cruise control and things like that. And it's like they're just priced out unless you have a very particular buyer for like a Slate truck. Like Slate trucks and like Cyber trucks, if you keep one of those things nice, 25 years from now, you might be able to make some money off of one of them, but like they're not usable machines. Helper Burger. I'm not allowed to go to that kind of stuff. Thank you, TK. Well, the battery's going to need to be changed longer. That's a good point. Bobby is saying, like, if we keep one in a nice working condition, yeah, it'll be nice. But like, I just don't see the, like I've said before, next 5 years, you're going to see Elon Musk go broke. Next 5 years, by 2030, Elon Musk will be broke. What's a slate truck? A slate truck is a 150-mile range electric truck made by Jeff Bezos from Amazon. They come with roll-down windows, turn signals, and that's it, right? There's little things that you can buy to like customize it. You can like turn it into like an SUV. You can turn it into like there's certain packages that you can buy, but basically for $28,000 plus a $7,500 rebate, so it's effectively a $21,000 truck. You get a electric truck, 2-wheel drive that gets 150 to 200 mile range depending on the battery that you buy. But you get no air conditioning, you get no radio, you get roll up windows. It's completely base, but you can add on to it. Like you can buy a radio, you can buy like power windows, you can buy like AC and stuff like that. But it has to be done at the Slate dealer, and it's not something that you can add on after. Like, I don't think you add it on after the fact, at least not initially. Nolan, it all depends on the user. Why am I in the void? So people don't ask me why my couch is sitting up. I don't know. If a truck drove itself, what price would I pay for it? Not much. I mean, I like self-driving features. They're really cool on the highway, and they're really good for like long trips. But like, I like having control of the car too. So like, I like having more of like a system that works some of the times and not all the time. Your 5-liter got a better mileage after a 93 tune. That's generally because you're supposed to run 93 in a 5-liter anyway. You might not know this, but the 5-liter Coyote is a high compression engine. If you put 87 octane in it, the knock sensors have to detune the vehicle, and the vehicle's going to run colder. Generally, 93 octane is resistant to spark and also makes the engine run a little hotter, and it runs in that power zone. So like, you're going to get better fuel economy because of a couple of reasons. You're going to have cleaner injectors. You're going to have a cleaner burn. You're going to have a better time burn because the entire engine is designed to run off 93 octane from the factory, right? It can be detuned to 87, but it's not good for the longevity of the engine. And you're also going to lose about 5-10% of your horsepower, 5 to 10% of your horsepower, depending on where you're at sea level versus like in the mountains, right? But that's the reason you got better gas mileage. And it wasn't because of the tune, because your engine's actually designed to run 93 octane. It's not designed for 87. See me rip it? All my cars are stock. Not to mention my truck has the dreaded 6.2 liter in the recall. Like, my truck is in the recall, so like, I don't try to rip it at all. I try to get the most miles possible out of it. Like, honestly, I'm almost scared to tow with it at this point. Hey, Just appreciate the members lately, dude. Do a truck tour? I mean, I can look up my actual truck here. I don't got nothing special. Here you go. This is my actual truck. Not my personal truck, but this is pretty much my truck. I don't think this one has the 6.2 in it, but mine has the 6.2 in it. But almost everything is going to be the exact same as this. I don't have step bars on mine either. Like, I want to get step bars. I just too fucking lazy, too cheap to do it. Anything 11-to-1 ratio requires 93 octane. 11-to-1 ratio is considered high compression. Like the 2.3, almost every EcoBoost engine requires 93 octane. People are questioning me. Let's go. Current F-150 engine is a 12-to-1 ratio. If you go back to like 2011, that F-150 was 11-to-1 ratio. Like the Coyotes always required 93 octane. Use 95 your RAV4, you're just wasting your money. And where are you getting 95 octane at? You use 99 proof, I think you're using whiskey. Do I think the Scat Pack is overrated car? No, I think the Hellcat is, though. Charles, yes. Honestly, I would avoid any vehicle with a CVT. Like, CVTs are an interesting concept, but they don't take to lack of maintenance, and they're very high maintenance items. But Nissan CVTs get killed by heat because Nissan says, "Hey, don't change the transmission fluid 150,000 miles." Yeah. Your 2017 Alt went 250K on a CVT. Not his first one, it didn't. Not his first one. What about the little Ford Bronco? What does the Ford Bronco have in it? That's a good question. What does that? Okay, so it has a regular transmission, but it doesn't have like the standard 10-speed. Nate Doom just got a. I'm not doing that, Nate Doom. Thank you for the $5 though, man. Yeah, it has 8-speed automatic, which I don't have any experience with Ford's 8-speed automatic, so I don't know what about the Bronco transmission, honestly. Drew Henners, yeah, you can chat, man. Ah, I don't know anything about the 8-speed transmission, Kelly. I don't know. I have absolutely no clue about it. What would you use on a RAV4? 87 octane. It's designed for 87 octane. Like even the new ones are. Wings, explain how vehicle's electronic stability program uses sensor data from the yaw and rate and wheel speed to modulate individual braking and regulate engine torque during a transient handling. Basically, basically what a stability track program or StabiliTrack that Chevrolet uses does is it takes wheel speed and it determines your wheel speed and see if there's any slip. I'm being very lame in here. Like there's a lot more that goes into it what I'm about to say. But basically, if a wheel slips, it actually will cut power to that wheel and add power to another wheel to make sure that you don't lose control of your car. Right, that's StabiliTrack, and it does that by using like the centrifuge or the spin rate of your tire by the wheel speed sensor. Did I see Woody got robbed and beat up? I seen the thumbnail, but I thought he was going to tell the story of the robber that came in through the basement and took his wallet every time he was sleeping on the couch. Grasco, thank you for the $1. Grandpa, no, I don't. I sold it in 2018, so I sold it about 6 years ago. I have a 21 Trail Boss at this point, Silverado Trail Boss. Describe the operational differences between a port and direct ejection fuel system and the respective impacts on. Well, I know you're just copy pasting shit, Joe Blow, but the difference between port injection and direct injection is where the actual ignition happens. Port injection generally shoots the gasoline through basically a port on the side of the head that shoots it into the cylinder, whereas a direct injection goes down into the cylinder itself. So it shoots the mixture deep into the cylinder. It gets a more complete burn, which actually creates more power. The issue with direct injection, if you don't have port injection to go with it, is that it actually builds carbon up on the back of the valves, mainly the exhaust valves, and it makes it so they can't sit or seat properly. And when they don't seat properly, that they're going to create a leak and you're going to lose compression from that. The problem that the fix for this is usually to have both ends. So you have port and direct injection and you do them interchangeably. That way that you can get some gasoline on the back of the cylinder, back of the valves, and actually clear off that carbon. Or every 30,000 miles, you get something called a walnut blast. And a walnut blast will clear the carbon off the back of your valves. Running cleaner gasoline like 93 octane will also help slow down the building up of carbon on your valves itself. Does that answer your question, Joe Blow? Thank you for the 10 pounds, X-Just. Thank you so much. Wings, how do modern engine control units use variable valve timing to optimize efficiency and emissions across the power band? I don't know so much about emissions, but I could give you a base idea. But like what variable valve timing does is like different companies do it differently, right? Like Chevrolet has like a cam and block design, whereas like Ford has like dual overhead cams or like quad cams, like they have. But like you'll have cam phasers. God, it's such a complex system. It's such a complex question. When you're driving normally, city driving, and you're just easing on the gas, going with the flow of traffic, you'll generally have a cam lobe that's smaller in size, and it opens the valves just enough to keep the car idle and keep the low power band going. But say that you need to pass somebody, so you put the left blinker on and you put your foot into it a little bit. You'll have the oil pressure go up, and then the oil pressure goes up. It locks a cam phaser over, and that cam phaser will either switch over to an entirely different cam or lock in a different set of cam lobes on the cam itself, and the new cam lobes will be bigger, right? So now you get all the power, and like the valves are opening longer and staying open longer, and you get all that power and gasoline and fuel mixture ratio all change, and now you have all that extra horsepower and oomph. That's what VVT comes from. It's a Honda design. Now almost every car in the world has it. Like, the problem is he thinks I don't know my shit. I know, I know about I know gasoline combustion engines. Hey, Trump hairpiece, how you doing? You doing the Lord's work over there on Trump's head. Thoughts on a short throw crank for a 6.2? I don't even know what that fucking is, dude. Please explain. I don't like car games, honestly. Why don't I follow F1? Because it's boring as the day is long. Same reason I don't follow NASCAR. I don't like watching it. All I know about cars is I still need to make a license, but that's like close to about need to make a license, but that's like close to about €3,000 or €4,000 for me. What do you mean make a license? Kabali, I have no desire to actually be the stream runner. You don't got a driver's license, XJS? Why is it 4,000 pounds up there? Or euro? Glad to see you back on low cup. Well, thank you, Life is Pain. Appreciate the 5 pounds. Oh, like in America, you put $25 down and you can party with a driver's license. They give it to everybody. Joe Blow says, can you explain how an engine's knock sensor detects pre-ignition events and adjusts timing to prevent destructive detonation? Yes, but will I? No. I'm tired of answering your fucking copy-paste questions. Some people live in the city and they don't need it. That's the answer to your question. Like, and then some people are like Mike. Mike made so much money, he didn't need fucking. He can just pay for Ubers. He just don't like driving. Well, Riot Squad Gaming, he's asked me like 6 fucking like questions that he's obviously copying and pasting off of like websites to try to like get me to slip up and say something wrong. Well, lunar eclipse, I disagree with you. I understand right now it's a privilege, not a right, but like some places in America, if you don't drive, you pretty much can't live. Yeah, get behind the camera, Mike. Do I think North Korea has any good political ideologies? I don't know any of them. I don't follow North Korea. From what my understanding, they're piles of poop. I'm not in that bad a shape, Nolan, but like I live like 9 miles from town. So like if I didn't have a car, like it would be such a pain in the ass. What's my thoughts on Audi versus Porsche versus Mercedes versus BMW? Here you go, Shroom Pilot. Let me say this as American as humanly possible. Germany had the best tank in the World War II. It's called the Tiger II, right? The Tiger II had a gun that could shoot a Sherman tank from 2 miles away before the Sherman tank could even think about shooting back at it. It had 6 inches of sloped armor. Sherman had 3 inches of sloped armor. Sure, it was just as fast as the Sherman, but a little less maneuverable. It was a killing machine, right? Do you know why it lost? It couldn't. It was too heavy to be airdropped. It had to be moved by train. If the transmission went out in it, it had to be taken out of the tank and sent back to the Porsche factory in Germany. It was outnumbered 6-1, and they couldn't make them fast enough to keep up with the American manufacturing of the Sherman tank. The Sherman tank had some things that had to be done with it. It only had 3 inches of sloped armor, but it outnumbered Tiger 6-1, and you had to take the Sherman tank 3,000 miles overseas. So you had to be able to airdrop them into the battlefield. You had to be able to put them on ships. You had to be able to move them around, and you could, right? So like it was very easy to get replacement Sherman tanks onto the battlefield. Whereas like if a Tiger died somewhere in the desert of Africa, that Tiger was just missing for the rest of that campaign. There was no Tigers coming in on rail to replace it, right? It took too long to make them. They were too heavily engineered. So what would end up happening is the Shermans wouldn't engage the Tigers unless they outnumbered them 6 or 8-1. And what they would do is they would just send airplanes out to deal with Tigers because they were too big and bulky to move out of the way. You'd lure a Tiger out, you'd have an airplane come in and destroy it. So with that said, what do I think of German engineering? I think as an American, you should realize that Toyota's not going to build tanks for America. You should support American businesses as much as you humanly can. That doesn't bankrupt you. Am I going to let the Matin guy into my house? If the money's right, yeah. I don't know. We'll probably talk about that tonight. Apparently, Boogie like crashed out on. I haven't seen it yet. Been trying to avoid it. Have I ever been to New York? Like city? Yeah. Not Manhattan. But I have been to New York City, yeah. Do I still drink Yoo-Hoos when I get a chance to? Honestly. The trolls are planning on protesting all local Zaxby's for a mile. That sounds like a Zaxby's problem. That doesn't sound like a Geordie problem. You know what I'll do? I'll drive past it, laugh at their bitch asses, and then pull into Chick-fil-A. Like if they want to like throw eggs or something at my truck, I'll like hit the reverse gear and just back over their bicycles. Would I ever use a self-driving taxi? 100%. 100%. I would actually, if you gave me a choice between a regular taxi and a self-driving taxi, I'd pick the self-driving taxi just for the experience. Do you think a golden age of America is coming back? No, that's such a hard question. And let me give you a Trump answer for this, right? And a Trump answer would be this. I was miserable working at MetGlass. Absolutely miserable. I thought I was going to retire from there. I thought I'd work there till I was an old man or my back would break, whatever happened first. And then the housing of crash of 2008 happened, right? And all of a sudden, we don't know if we're going to work at all. So like there's so much uncertainty in life. And then fast forward like a year and a half, I'm now making $100,000 a year playing video games on YouTube. So I went from being miserable in a factory to making more money than I've ever made in my life playing video games. And if you went back to the beginning of that, I would have never told you that I'd be playing video games for a living. Nothing in life is certain, is what I'm getting at. Nothing in life is certain. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. Live your life the best you can today, and remember that life's about living, it's not about work. I mean, maybe we need a decrease in living standards. Do I like the Catfish Camaros? Yes. Love the Catfish Camaros. I think they're overpriced for what they are, but I love them. If I could move anywhere in the U.S., where would you go and why? Oh, that's a hard question. Like, if I could live anywhere else in the United States and I wasn't allowed to live where I'm living at, it'd probably be somewhere in the Smoky Mountains. There has to be somewhere in the Smoky Mountains that has fiber optics, and that's where I'd live at. Somewhere close to the Smoky Mountains that had fiber optic internet. Because, like, the Smoky Mountains are fucking gorgeous. Tennessee, West Virginia, anywhere in the Appalachians. North Carolina has some Smoky Mountains. I'm like, there's a good chance I'll be going to Tennessee this weekend. Kelly wants to go to Little Debbie Park. No, I love South Carolina. It's to me, South Carolina feels like home. That's one of the last places I'd fucking move to, California. Like, I've been to California a few times. I've hated every time I went there. I like California a little bit better than New York, but like neither state's that fucking great. I don't think anybody actually wants to move to Wyoming. That's why nobody lives there. The whole thing about Sweet Tea's that fun Southern girl that looks like she works at a Dollar General. Like I've met so many Sweet Teas in my life. It's kind of like there's certain people like I just can't make fun of anymore. I can't really make fun of Sweet Tea. I can't make fun of Skeeter. And like there's a guy that I played Call of Duty with the other night called like Confused Siren. I was like, dude, this dude is way too nice to be fucking with him. Yeah, Sweet Tea's a person. You guys didn't watch her read? Let's watch Sweet Tea read. This is not me making fun of Sweet Tea. This is somebody else making fun of Sweet Tea.
Forcefully. The Ma sons don't know anything about you, and it's going to stay that way. When dinner's over, you take Miss Mason back to the lounge for coffee, penunia, and bring the subject around to drills. With any luck, I'll have a deal signed and sealed before the news at 10. Be shopping for a vacation home in Majorca. This time tomorrow. How is that from Harry Potter? How the fuck was that from Harry Potter? That did not sound like Harry Potter. What did you send me? Harry Potter.
Oh, I've met 1,000 Sweet Teas. See, I had a plan, which the plan's kind of gone awry now. I was gonna have like fucking Albert and Sweet Tea read the Sorcerer's Stone completely. Like I had somebody donate $20 for Albert to read page 1, and I had somebody donate 20 for Sweet Tea to read page 2. So I was gonna just interchange them, like page 3, page 4, and have them finish the entire Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on stream. What are you asking about a Bronco?
Because that's what I want next.
What you want next? I ain't got Bronco money. Oh, you want the Bronco Sport? I might have Bronco Sport money. I ain't got full size Bronco money. Am I academically gifted? No. I mean, I have the ability to learn. I like to learn, but like I'm not academically gifted. It's Ruby. What the hell are you doing in here, Ruby? What's wrong with PKA?
Better go see if you can go work for PKA then.
I mean, apparently Woody got beat up and robbed, so he might.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you ain't got no Bronco money.
Those people donate $2 for your Bronco.
Hey, that's almost a gallon of gas. Thank you.
Bronco.
Thank you, Sharon.
Bronco takes 93 octane.
Thank you. That's half a gallon. Be respectful.
I've enjoyed my Red Bull. Been sipping online. How's it going? It's been good. Wood. PK is miles better than local. We'll appreciate it, Legoat. The problem with local, and I've said this multiple times.
Oh Lord, here we go. This will be on tonight. Go on.
Problem with local is like I can't get any conversation out of Keem or Boogie.
Have you tried doing it offline? Have you tried going offline?
What does that mean?
Have you tried talking to them offline?
I do at times.
This is where you're supposed to tell me going offline does not stop it. These are disgusting, by the way.
They're not that bad.
Not that bad. By the way, why would you buy something that you described as not that bad?
She's eating my Pop'ems. She's saying they're disgusting. My roommate knows better talent than me. I feel you. Get her on. She doesn't wear pants around the house. Like Kelly does not like pants. So like as soon as she comes home, she's out of the pants. She walks around in her panties like all day. So she doesn't get on camera very often. So every time she has to get on camera, she has to go put on pants. See, I'm the complete opposite. Like I have like pants and shoes on all day. Like I literally sit in the house with my shoes on because like I absolutely hate my feet being dirty. Yeah, socks, shoes, pants. I'm almost fully dressed. Who am I keep my feet pristine for? The bed. Keeping it full to bed. Speaking of that, I might go lay down here in a minute. Why my girl not walk around like that? I need a refund. Wings does foot fetish content. OVO. No, I'm autistic. I don't like my hands dirty, and I don't like my feet dirty, and I don't like anything blowing or touching my face. I just don't do that. I don't do that at all. Like. I remember when I was a kid, they made us do like paper mache at the at art class, and I was looking for a reason to go home that day. I absolutely hated having glue on my hands. I remember washing my hands so many times they turned red. Like I was like literally washing like the top layer of like bacteria off of them. Sounds like OCD. I don't know if it's OCD because I'm not very OCD. Like I could leave like a shirt on the floor for a while, but I don't like my hands or feet to be dirty. Like I feel icky. Like it almost makes me freeze. Like if you go back and watch, like the last stream I did with a low cover, they dumped a bunch of chili and shit on me. I do like this because I don't know what to do with my hands because I'm so uncomfortable. Some use working hands. I wear gloves. If I have to use my hands for work that is in an unsanitary environment, I will use work gloves. You get high dexterity work gloves, you can pretty much the same as everything else. Can't stand gloves. They drive you crazy. Yeah, it's on the hiatus till after a tax season. Because like it's quarterly taxes in October. So like, yeah. Wait till that's done with. All right, boys. I think I'm going to end it right there. Thanks everybody for coming out to the stream. Hope everybody had a good time. Appreciate X Justin for the 10 pounds. Thank you so much, dude. Thanks everybody for chilling with your boy. I'll see you guys a little later. Peace, people.